What's going on, guys? My name is Drake, and today I am back with another story time video for you guys. I don't think I've told this story before, at least I hope I haven't told this story before, and you guys should be seeing some Gucci Fortnite gameplay right now. Just kidding, I am terrible at Fortnite. Please forgive me for a bunch of noob mistakes that I make in this video, because I really do suck at Fortnite. But let's get right into the video. So, when I was in high school, every semester, like at the end of every semester, after exam, or actually during exams, if you didn't have an exam, you didn't have to come into school until lunchtime, because after lunchtime we had review sessions for your upcoming exams, and then if you didn't have any upcoming exams and you didn't have any review sessions, then you could just leave school. You didn't have to come back until like the next year or the next semester or whatever. So me and my friends had a great idea, and we had done this before, or at least they had done this before. Normally I just stayed at home and got sleep, but what they would do is someone would bring in a gaming console, and they would go to the band room locker room and hang out in the locker room and play video games, because that's like where everybody hung out. It's weird, in the band room locker room. I know the locker room probably isn't the best hangout spot, but that's where we hung out. There was a TV in there and everything. So the TV actually got removed, so me and my friends are like, oh, well, if we want to do this again, we need to get a TV. And so we all pitched in money, got a TV, and yeah, it was actually a pretty nice TV. It was like a smart TV for like $120, so not bad, you know? So, and we also talked to the chorus director. The band director wasn't going to be there that day, but the chorus director, he was going to be there, and the chorus and the band sort of share the same room because I went to a tiny high school. So yeah, we asked him, we're like, are you going to be there? And he's like, yeah, it's fine if you want to come down here, play video games before your review sessions or whatever. And this was the first year that I was actually going to stay, like go to school early and actually play video games with everybody else, because they had done this before, but I hadn't. I usually stayed at home. So, you know, I wake up that early that morning, my friend has the TV, we smuggle the TV into the school. You know, this is around the time when Zombie Chronicles came out, so yeah, that gives you a time frame there. We are so hyped to play some Zombie Chronicles. None of my friends had played it yet. I was bringing my PS4, and yeah, so I brought my PS4 into the school, we brought the TV into the school, and, you know, everything was fine. And there was a bunch of people in the locker room, too. We even had a cooler and, like, ice in the cooler and drinks. I mean, we were ready to stay down there for, like, 4 hours and basically have a party, just having a gaming session with, like, everybody in there. And we had a decent-sized TV, as I said. Everything was good. There was, like, maybe 5 or 6 of us in that locker room. And the chorus director, as I said, he had no problem with this. And we had done it previous semesters. No one had a problem with it, or I hadn't done it, but my friends had done it previous semesters. No one had a problem with it. Actually, I did come into school the semester before this, and we actually played Mortal Kombat in a teacher's classroom, and that was really fun. I didn't come in super early. I got there a little bit before lunch, and they were still playing Mortal Kombat. So, yeah, and even the teacher came into the room as a history teacher. He came into the room and played Mortal Kombat with us. I mean, super, super cool guy and everything. And so this morning we were playing and everything, and then a teacher came into the locker room, and we had the lights off. I rush over to the door, turn the lights on, because we're not allowed to have the lights off in the locker room. And the teacher asks one of my friends, it says, why aren't you upstairs? And my friend was like, what do you mean, why am I not upstairs? And apparently he had missed a bunch of days of school, missed a bunch of work, was basically failing this class. So the teacher came down to hunt for him and was like, you need to get up in my room, you need to make up time for missing those days, and you also need to make up work because you're missing a lot of work, and besides, you're basically failing my class, so you need to be upstairs in my classroom. So my friend's like, oh man, okay, bye guys, and, you know, the teacher takes him, and he goes upstairs, everything's fine. Then, like, 5 minutes later, we're like, oh, well, we're in the clear then. She didn't say anything about us playing video games, and, I mean, we had no reason to not be down there playing video games when the chorus director told us it was okay. We had done it previous semesters. I mean, high school students had done it years before us, you know, everything was fine. And then, like, 5 minutes later, as I said, she comes back down and is like, why are you guys not in the auditorium? And we're like, what? And she's like, you need to be in the auditorium. If you come before school, before review sessions while exams are going on, you have to be in the auditorium. We need to know where you're at. You need to be under adult supervision. And we're like, Mr. Barton's right out there. I just said the teacher's name, but that's fine. We're like, Mr. Barton's right out there. He said it was fine. And she's like, no, the principal said that you have to be upstairs in the auditorium, so, everybody sort of clears out. Some other people, I think, go to teachers' classrooms and, work on work and stuff, and then one of my other friends went straight to the auditorium, and me and my friend that had arranged this whole thing were like, oh no, we just spent $120 on the TV. Everybody pitched in this money. Everybody that was in that room, pitched in money for this TV. What are we going to do? We can't just take the TV back because it's already been out of the box and used and everything. What are we going to do? And I'm like, you put in the most money, you just keep the TV. It's whatever. I don't really care, because I'd put $20 in it maybe. So I didn't really care that much. Everybody else didn't care. Just yeah, keep the TV. It's whatever. And so we're like, oh, this sucks. We're going to have to go and sit in the auditorium for 4 hours and do absolutely nothing, because, we had our school computers, but, our school computers, every single gaming site is blocked on a school computer. They're Chromebooks, so you can't play games anyway on a school computer. So we're like, what are we going to do? So we go up to the auditorium, and this lady's walking around the auditorium, and she goes to me and my friend, and she's like, hey, have you signed in yet? I'd never seen this lady before. I guess she works for the school. I mean, I'd never seen her before. This is at the very end of the semester. I don't know why she would be employed at the end of the semester, if she was a substitute. I don't know who this woman was. And she said, have you guys signed in yet? And I'm like, no, do we have to sign in? She's like, yeah, go to the office and sign in. If you're going to be in the auditorium early, you need to sign in. And we're like, oh. And, we walk outside, and my friend's like, I don't want to sit here for 4 hours. What are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Can we, go to your house or something, and then, come back, and we can, play video games at your house or whatever for, 4 hours, and then we can, come back to school. And my friend's like, oh, yeah. And the lady comes out into the hallway after we finish saying this, and she's like, why are you guys not signing in? And we're like, oh, well, can we go down to the band room real quick? We forgot some stuff in the band room. And, we go down there, and then Mr. Barton's still down there, the chorus director, and he's like, guys, I'm sorry, you have to go up to the auditorium. It's the principal's rules now. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to say yes before I really knew the rules and everything. And we're like, oh yeah, it's okay. So, and we're like, well, we're going to clean up in the locker room. And he's like, okay, well, you guys need to go to the auditorium and everything. He's a really cool teacher. He caught us doing some other stuff, like climbing on top of the school once, and he didn't snitch on us. So he's a really cool teacher. If you want to hear that story about me climbing on top of the school with my friends, just comment down below, because I can come clean about literally everything I did in school now, because I'm in college. But anyway, yeah, we go into the locker room and we start cleaning up a little bit. I packed my PS4 up and put it in the carrying case that I had. We push the TV off to the side, just get everything cleaned up so that so everything's good. And then we go back upstairs, and the teacher that asked if we signed in, and we told the teacher that I never saw before, or person that I never saw before, because I don't think she was a teacher. And she's like, guys, you need to sign in. And we're like, okay, we'll go to the office. And then my friend's like, dude, I don't want to sit in the auditorium for 4 hours. What are we going to do? I'm like, dude, we can just go to your house. And then he's like, okay, dude, let's go. So we go downstairs back to where the band room is. We sort of dip out of view of this teacher, so their teacher or person, whoever it was. And we go back downstairs, and downstairs there's this door that we come in through. It's like a side door. This is how we smuggle the TV and the PS4 in. I mean, there's no reason to really smuggle it in, but we didn't want to get asked any questions about why we were bringing a TV and a PS4 into the school earlier. But that didn't matter at this point, because they had already saw it, and they said we need to be in the auditorium. So we went downstairs, and we went out the side door, because no one was monitoring the side door. The side door wasn't locked, and we got the side door, and we sprint across the road to the parking lot, get in his Jeep, and we ride to his house. Now, he's a little stressed out about this. And, I I was like, what's the worst that can happen? We didn't sign in, so we technically weren't here. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And, we just go to his house, and we started playing some video games for a while. And then when my other friends text me, they're like, dude, they're looking for you. And I'm like, what do you mean they're looking for us? And then he's like, you're not in the auditorium. You never came back after you said you were going to sign in. Dude, where are you? I'm like, oh, well, we're at my friend's house. And he's like, dude, you need to get back to the school now. And we're like, we're not coming back to the school and sitting there for 4 hours. And so we just stay there at his house and play video games for however long it was. And then right before review sessions start, we go back to the school, go in the side door, act like nothing happened. And the principal of the middle school, because I went to a joint middle school and high school, where all the grades are just in one building. Grades from like 6th to 12th were in one building. So he sees us. He gets really wide-eyed. He picks up his radio and says something on his radio, and he's like, guys, you need to go talk to the Spanish teacher. That was the one that called us in the locker room in the first place. And she's like, and then we go to her classroom, and she sees us, comes out into the hallway, and starts screaming. Literally screaming, like at the top of her lungs, like another teacher came out into the hallway just to see what was happening, type of screaming. And she grabs us both by the arms and takes us to the principal's office, and he was not happy either. He basically gave us two options, he gave us two options. He said we could either get out of school suspension, or we could call our parents and they could deal with it. And he was very, very unhappy. He's like, boys, extremely Southern. He's like, boys, you know what you did. You know what you did. You know what it's called? And me and my friend just look at each other like, what? And he's like, this is real wrong. You boys know what it's called? I'm like, no. He's like, how you boys not know what it's called? You just sound real bad today. And we're just like, no, we don't know what it's called. He's like, that's skipping school, boys. And we're like, oh, well, we didn't really skip school. We were just supposed to be sitting in the auditorium doing nothing for 4 hours, but, it's whatever. And he said he couldn't give us out in-school suspension because he had no teachers to, watch us in-school suspension because it was the end of the semester, so all the teachers were giving exams and stuff, so didn't have anybody to do that, and we only had, a week of school left anyway, and he's like, so I can give you out-of-school suspension, or you can call your parents. And my mom, she sort of knew about this, what we were doing and everything, because I sort of told her that I was going to Connor's house, and she was like, well, weren't you at school? And I was like, well, plans didn't work out. That's sort of all I told her. So I just basically told her, said plans didn't work out, and she's like, oh, okay. And then I called her and said, well, I'm in the principal's office right now, and first the principal said, call your dads, and my friend, he called his dad, and my dad happened to be in England when this happened, and I'm like, my dad's in England. He's like, oh yeah, how real convenient. And my friend's like, no, his dad's actually in England. So, we had to convince the principal that my dad was actually in England, which he actually was. And finally he's like, okay, call your mom. And, he sort of explained the situation. My mom wasn't mad. Both my friend's dad and my mom both thought it was really stupid what we got in trouble for and didn't really see anything wrong with it. And the principal's like, well, I think you should take away his car, coming up with punishments for me and telling my mom how she should punish me. It's so, looking back on the whole situation, it's so stupid. My mom, she just kind of agreed with it, went along with it. And when I got home that evening, she was just sort of like, no, you did nothing wrong. It's fine. I can understand why you didn't want to sit in an auditorium for 4 hours. She's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have left school, but it wasn't that bad. I knew where you were at. You said you were going to Connor's house. And yeah, so everything worked out in the end. I didn't even get punished, just had to go sit in the principal's office and get yelled at for a little bit. And yeah, my mom definitely wasn't going to take my car away because this is after we moved to South Carolina and I had a 45-minute drive to school, so neither my mom or dad was willing to drive me to school in the morning. I had to drive myself, so yeah, definitely not taking my car away. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the like button down below if you enjoyed this type of video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the post notification button down below so you get a notification when I upload a video. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with a vlog maybe. I'm thinking about doing a vlog. I don't know yet. Anyway, guys, peace.